But we're here to talk about Islam, apostasy, and leaving it. And the stuff I come across is the stuff that's in the news and the stuff people want you to talk about as a stand-up on stage. The burqa is the really big one, the veil. It's constantly in the news with being banned in one place or another. And how I feel about it is a real mix of sort of, liberal, do what you like, and this is sometimes used to oppress women. And I don't agree with banning the burqa as they've done in France, because I just think that the people who are forced to wear it are now forced not to go outside. I don't think that's helpful to the women who are in that situation. And my genuine feeling about it is that I think anyone should be allowed to wear the burqa, including me. That's just a general thing. You should be allowed to wear what you want. No one should ever be able to force you to, but I should be able to wear it the same way I should be able to wear a balaclava if I like. But I can wear a balaclava, but if I then get a job in a bank, do you see where I'm going with this? I shouldn't be surprised if someone asked me to take the frigging balaclava off. We have rules. And just telling them that an invisible being wants me to keep it on, that's not good enough, not in the workplace. Like I didn't know, I was told to wear this by Pixies. Cashier number 4, please. I like that. There was an interesting debate about the veil a while ago with a woman, I think it was Leicester possibly, who was an English teacher. She was teaching English at a primary school level to kids, I assume. And she decided to start wearing the full veil during the lessons, even though she hadn't worn it during the interview. And people kept saying, she kept saying for a start that it wasn't going to affect her ability to teach English in any way. I think that's what she was saying. It's kind of muffled, you couldn't really tell. But she was constantly asked. No one asked the kids. I would have found that fascinating to ask the kids, has it affected your English lessons? Of course it affects the teaching, because teaching English is teaching a language, and teaching language is teaching communication, and communication is not just words. Loads of research on this says it's about 70% to do with the look of you, the face. That's a lot of communication. So you can't fully teach someone to communicate with a covered face in the same way you can't fully teach someone to count wearing mittens. It's just a restriction. 1, 2... lesson finished. Right. I do occasionally, though, come across unbelievable misunderstandings of Islam. My favourite, and I've never told an audience this before, but it just tickled me for about a week afterwards, was I got a cab, and at first the cabbie does that classic, Muslims, oh God, here it comes. But then he came up with the most outlandish theory I have ever heard. What's the figure? You know why they hate the West? I went, they? Yeah, Muslims all hate the West. I don't think they all hate the West. You know what I mean? Well, okay, the ones you're talking about, I think it might be because of our continued support of Israel in its illegal occupation. It might be because of various wars that we seem to be prosecuting against Islamic countries again. No, it's not that. What are Muslims like more than anything else? I don't know, food? Do you mean the prophet? Nah, the moon. What? Top of every mosque, the moon. What do the Americans bloody do? Go up there, stick a flag on it. Isn't that unbelievable? And he then went, as if this would sort everything out. All we need to do, one rocket up there, take the flag down, this will all blow over. And I just had to salute him for his consistent but completely insane worldview. Absolutely amazing. I have a story that I like to. I haven't told this for a while, but it's still, especially when we're talking about Sharia law, it's something that I think I would rather wasn't brought in this country, on balance. I had someone try to convert me to Islam once at a festival in Bradford. A young man who had a very good argument. He said, look around you, democracy hasn't worked. What do you mean? Well, you've got, and then he just listed off as a Daily Mail style diatribe of all the things wrong with this country. Oh, we have paedophilia, we have knife crime. So democracy obviously to blame for those. And he said, see, man can't tell man how to behave. And then he gave me this example. Let's say you had a mobile phone, new mobile phone, you don't know how to use it. Who do you ask? And I went, somebody else who has the same mobile phone but has had it for longer. And he went, no, the manufacturer. Only the manufacturer of the phone can tell you how to use that phone. And I saw where he was going. He said, only who made man can tell man how to behave. But I had to point out to him, that's not a very good analogy. Let's take another one. Let's say you have a new mobile phone, and about 10 different companies all claim to have made it. And on examination, it seemed that the phone may have developed naturally on its own from earlier models of phone. And then he almost tried to hit me. And then just repeated his thing. Fundamentalists are not easy to argue with. But the thing I always get with them, because generally I like meeting young, angry, male fundamentalist Muslims. It's not a pleasant experience, but it means I'm not just knowing them through the news. And the vibe you get from them, above all else, and no one ever mentions this, it's not political anger, it's a vibe that I pick up. Sexual tension like you would not believe. Right? I recognise it a mile off because I was raised Catholic, but I diverted that into hobbies. These kids, you've got kids who are 17 and 18 with a beard down to their belt, and is that possible with hormones alone? I think at that age you sometimes just have to let some sperm out, otherwise the beard comes out. Genuinely, when I read stories sometimes about young men exploding in the Middle East, I'm not even convinced there's a bomb involved half the time. It's just the pressure on the testicles won't always... About a month after 7/7 happened, I was doing a gig in Canterbury, and I met a couple who started talking to me about their experience of that day. They'd been in London, not far from here, Tavistock Square, when the bus had exploded. They saw it happen. It's a bus landed next to them. And I was talking about the way that the media covered 7/7, how they told us all how we felt, like we didn't know, like you didn't know just from talking to people. And they told us that we were defiant for going about our daily lives despite the threat of bombing, right? Which you've got to think, people around the world go about their daily lives despite the threat of bombing, from us often. And it's not just defiance, it's that is how you survive in life. You have to get on with it. You can't just stop no matter who's threatening you. But defiance isn't the word that I would have chosen about the people on the tube the day after the bombings on 7/7. Nervous, but still having to go to work, because the boss won't let you not go to work just because there was a terror attack. Bosses are like that. They're evil. You know? Just keep trying not to swear. Defiance not the word I'd choose. I'd choose nervous and really suddenly interested in rucksacks. But this couple told me a wonderful story, and they told me, I drink quite a lot, right? And I enjoy a drink, and I think sometimes that's to do with Catholicism. No one ever says that about Catholicism. The guilt they go on, the sexual guilt and everything, which is true, of course. That's true as well. I have a lot of sexual guilt built. I've got rid of it now, but it took me about 15 years to get over that idea, being taught my whole life that the first person you have sex with, that's the person you marry. I'll give all of you a second to imagine the shape of your lives if you'd had to apply that rule. Some of you possibly did, and that's quite nice. A couple of you might be thinking that's a significant improvement on the current situation. And then some of you, like me, thinking, that would have ruined my life. If I'd had to marry the first person I had sex with, I would be standing in front of you right now, a man in his 30s, married to a Catholic priest. I'll leave that joke there. The story they told me, this couple, they saw the bomb happen. They saw bits of the bus land, and they didn't know London well. They just looked around for anywhere they could go and feel safe. And the only open door they see is a pub. They run into the pub. I don't know if they looked for a pub. I'd like to think in a way that they did, that it's so inbuilt into the British psyche that in an emergency, that's what you seek out. You hear a bang, oh my God, we're under attack, where's a pub? But I don't know, I think they just looked for an open door. They run in, and the only person there is the barman. He's the landlord of the pub, and he's looked through the window, he's seen what's happened. He says, come in, come away from the glass, sit down. I have an electronic till, and it's in the morning. I can't serve you legally, but here, just have a pint. It's on me. Stay calm, stay sitting down, just stay safe. And then more and more people start flooding into the pub looking for somewhere to go. But here's the thing that gets me. After about 45 minutes, this couple told me, an armed police officer walked into the pub, assessed the situation, and then ordered the landlord to keep serving everyone for free. That, to me, is why Sharia law would never work in this country. Because the official emergency position on a terror attack in this city was a lock-in. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out, and keep supporting One Law for All. Thank you.